Trying my best. Here we go. Trying to drive. It's wonderful. All right, we're going to see how well this works. I don't know that it's going to work, but I'm going to do my best to try and make sure that we don't. This is the first of what I hope might be many. I don't know how many. We're going to see. But I, right now, just like I got finished telling you guys, I live super far away. By the way, what's up, my know-it-alls? And so it takes about 45 minutes to get into town. So Grandpa Know-It-All is in a rehab center, older folks, 71 years old, and what's great is he's getting help, and that's wonderful, and we're so excited for that. So Mrs. Know-It-All's there right now. I'm heading that direction, and I figured I don't know if there's going to be any interest in this whatsoever, and I'm totally fine with that. So no way. If y'all don't want to watch this, that's cool. We're going to talk about some things that I haven't had a chance to talk about, and I didn't really want to do it on the set. Because as much as I'm the guy who's doing most of the driving for the family, I want to make sure that I am very much involved with them. So this is just one more opportunity I get to try to pull you guys into our lives and hopefully make a difference in terms of, us all being together. So, the Know-It-All Nation. Here we go. Okay, so first off, I have not had an opportunity to talk about several things. So the very first thing I want to talk about is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, bro. I've now seen it 3 times. I saw it by myself. I saw it. I had an early screening. I saw it with the fan base on the Friday before it came out, or the Wednesday rather. And then when it came out, and then Miss Know-It-All and I just saw it again a couple days ago. It was her first time seeing it. Baby Know-It-All already seen it on a date, and so with her boyfriend, and they loved it, and she came home raving about it. So she's the one who insisted that I need to talk Guardians of the Galaxy. So I have heard so many things. So many conflicting things, people being upset about stuff. And I'm like, what are you guys talking about? One of my good buddies over at GeekyCast, he wasn't a big fan, but at the same time, I think he's starting to little by little come around. Is it the magic of, I'm not even gonna talk about the MCU yet, I'm just gonna talk about this. Is it the magic of what we expected or what we expect? I don't know, man. I liked the story they were telling. I know that a couple of the reviewers, like Dan Murrell and some others, were like, they didn't know how they liked the weaving in and out of the Rocket storyline. By the way, spoilers, because clearly you guys don't know who I am. I didn't mind the Rocket stuff. I know that we talked online a little bit. There's a group I'm on with a bunch of other scoopers and whatnot who'd all kind of a bunch of them had gotten a chance to see it, and we're all worried about, hey, if you don't like, is it one of those, does the dog die or something like that, or does he kill the cat or something? One of those ideas is do pets die? Okay, so you have to understand, these are CG animals. They're not genuine animals, and you know that because at the very, very end of this thing, literally on the screen, it says, PETA, all those people have verified no animals were harmed. So no animals were harmed, okay? Now, is it intense? Absolutely. Baby Know-It-All's boyfriend said he cried several times. I know, let's be real, I did too. The story was very, very intense. Gamora's journey I'm not a fan of, only because I would have loved her to have survived, or I'd love for her to, but I feel like James Gunn couldn't have just retconned what happened in Endgame. Otherwise, there are no stakes. Not that, I mean, I'll be frank, not a lot of us think there's a whole lot of stakes going on in these things anyway. And by that I just mean, people die, people don't, or whatever. I will say this: bad form make the whole movie. They made me believe, James Gunn, you made me believe that in some way, shape, or form, somebody major was gonna die. Nobody dies. A bunch of folks just go off and do different things. Did not see Drax being a dad came out of nowhere. I did not see that coming, and it was intense for me because I'm very much, my daughter is my stepdaughter, but I love her, and she's taken my name, and I love her very much, and which is the Know-It-All name, and I couldn't be happier. And so seeing him, who had lost his daughter, get an entire family of kids to raise, it was right here, buddy, right here, Rex. I was so like, you go Drax. Yeah, no, it was great. Love that part. I didn't see it coming. But yeah, Gamora, I don't know, man. I felt like I liked where they went. The fact is that Gamora wanted to have some kind of connection someplace in terms of a family, a place to belong. Thanos had pretty much destroyed her homeworld at the time. And so, having that ability for her to find a home, and it was with the Ravagers, was really surprising. But again, remember, after she comes from the past into the present, or for her it's the future, that's it. You don't see her again, and she books, and she's gone for the rest of that particular movie, and then we don't see her again, heard from until now. And you find out because you get Sylvester Stallone and you get the classic Guardians. I say classic Guardians because if you're a comic book fan, the comic books, that's who those guys were. You get, I mean, seriously, everybody from the Glass guy to it's just great. And so it's one of those things where when they see her and you find out Nebula has known, and it's like, bro, why would you be like that? No, I was like, okay, I see where you guys are going with. I see where you're going with this. I don't. People were like, oh, does that mean he's gonna is Quill gonna end up with Nebula? I don't think that's what was being set up. I think Nebula is very much a part of that family, like a sister would be in the family. I think her best friend is Rocket. I think her version of a brother would be Quill. And I think that whole thing really makes for I don't want to say intense, but it makes you very much start to go, oh, okay, I get where they're going with this. Because it's the family. And then at the very end, you get this, I don't know how everybody feels about the High Evolutionary. I thought, frankly, he was a bit of a throwaway villain. I liked his intensity. I felt like they made him very impotent compared to how the High Evolutionary in the comic books was. Having read those comics, I'm not that old, but I had to go back years ago, and having read the High Evolutionary series of events and whatnot, and I just felt like, I don't know, I felt like he was he was borrowed, but even Thanos felt more like Thanos from the comics. Not that he is, because he's not, but it was a closer comparison than to see the High Evolutionary the way he was portrayed. As long as you know that, you can step out of it and say to yourself, okay, this is what's happening. I can separate myself from what I know to be true versus what is true. So by that I just mean I now know the series is not going to be exactly a High Evolutionary, but I'm okay with that. Outfit looked dope. Story about him and Rocket looked dope. I feel like for a guy who was supposed to be like nigh a god, even if it's a self-proclaimed god because he's just a scientist creating things, I thought he was a lot not as I would have liked to have seen him a little more powerful, because pretty much. Don't get me wrong, Quill's awesome, but he's not exactly channeling energy like he was with Ego, and he doesn't have a stone like they did in the first movie when they took on What's-His-Nut. And I was just kind of like, what's happening here? I would have liked to have seen more of that, of him, of them, why they were, either give him a hard time or something, but anyway. So then you get to the end, and Rocket is very much, he's in the afterlife. They show him ready to go. He's in his dream coma, whatever. He's ready to go. And then he sees Lola. And what got me so intensely is when he sees her and this CGI character goes, and it's the most human and relatable emotion and thing that I could have seen him do. It was to see him like, oh God, I can't believe it's her. And then he's like, you can go. And I'm like, well, that's it. He's dead. He's done. And then she stops him and says, but not yet. And I'm like, not yet. And then he wakes up and it's great. It's so good. Golly, it's good. So there you go. Now you know. And if knowing's half the battle, you're halfway to being a know-it-all yourself. What's the know-it-all index for this? For Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It is not... You can't judge this against the first one, because the first one was unbelievably brand new. So you didn't know what you were getting into. So everything was new and fresh, and of course we're like, it's great! But the know-it-all index for me for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, a very well-deserved, I would say 8. It is an 8 out of 10 for me. I felt like it was a wonderful button. I think having Peter at the end go back home, and it was really cute when he went back home. I'm so glad the actor who plays his grandfather was still around. But I liked it. I like everybody's journey, and the fact is Star-Lord will return, And there's many places where the Guardians. I mean, if you look at the comics, the Guardians have interacted with the X-Men, with the Avengers. They've interacted with a whole bunch of characters and groups that are coming or potentially going to be seen. So there's room for that. Plus, not to mention, Quill has so much experience with intergalactic stuff that there's no reason he can't get recruited by somebody to do something. I'd love for you guys to tell me, give me your comments or your thoughts about what you thought of Guardians of the Galaxy. I hope you like this road review because that's what it is right now. Yeah, man, I look forward to talking more about some other stuff as well as some a few more things that have been happening or dropping in the world of film and television. I know right now there's all kinds of rumors and speculation about everything going on, and I'm down for it. I missed whatever the leak was that was going around about Godzilla, so you're not gonna hear nothing from that about me. And then, but I definitely want to look more about Daredevil and some things happening. I know Echo's supposed to be dropping like the whole season in one shot. Very Netflix-esque, which I find interesting and funny. So hopefully that won't be anything that's going to, it won't affect much. But I'll watch. I'm here for it. I'll do a quick I'll binge it and do a series review and let you guys know. And yeah, man. So all right, guys, we'll talk soon. Never forget, everyone loves a know-it-all.